Okay, hello. My name is Lisette Garcia, as you can see up in the screen. My research project was, or research report was on the question: do male students from UTRGV find women who use improper or slang language attractive? Reasons for me choosing this topic were because, well, as you can see, I'm a woman, and being a woman, there's all of these expectations of always being, your most best self, being respectful, always, being conscious of how you're being perceived by others, and especially being a woman in the Mexican culture. It's always a day to day on your culture, letting you know that you need to marry and you need to be found attractive by the opposite sex so that they can take care of you. And so there's just these stereotypical gender roles, right, for men and women, but especially in this topic for women, to always be proper and respectful. And I was always interested if there was any evolution in that, since there has been so much evolution in women, having the power to vote and women being able to work. So I was wondering if maybe things had changed in this aspect of stereotypical gender roles for women. So my hypothesis was that I believe that male students from UTRGV find women who use improper or slang language unattractive. So, my expectations were that I felt like that is still something that hasn't really moved forward. It's still something very present. And so, in my research, well, first let's start with the research summary, right? What is the meaning of improper or slang language? Okay, so when I was discussing this with my subjects, I really wanted for them to understand what was the meaning of improper or slang language to me, like what I meant when I was asking them this question for my questionnaire. So basically, to me, is like any improper language for women is cussing, or even the sound of your voice, how you're saying things, not necessarily what you're saying but how you're saying it. Your tone is also a big I guess part of the meaning of slang and improper. And so there's also the mixing of languages, right? So that is using two languages in the same sentence, that's also seen as improper, right? So, and especially that's very common since we're Mexican American, and we're in Brownsville, Texas, so most of the population speaks both languages, and even some new languages like Tex-Mex or Spanglish. So that's also considered improper. So okay, so I'm going to discuss the results. So results for my question, which was the question number one, which was the main question from before of: do male students from UTRGV find women who use improper slang language unattractive? This was just a yes or no question, and so yeah, 80% of the males that answered was a yes. So that was, to me, no news. I was already expecting that. That was my hypothesis. But the second question was: would you find the woman using improper or slang language unattractive, even if it was in a different setting, a setting that was more acceptable? So from this, I just wanted to see if maybe it was because of the way that I was asking the question that I was getting those same results. So I decided to kind of change the second question to mirror maybe something that is more like in today's world. So to my surprise, that answer went from yes to no to 25% yes, still finding women unattractive regardless of that. And so to me, that was breathtaking, like new news. So the possible consequences from this evidence were that we would finally break stereotypical gender roles, so women can express themselves as equals, and it's a lot more acceptable by men or our peers, and women losing the fear of judgment from society and culture.